Good morning. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again. All right, 1411 W Street, Frederick Douglass National Historic Site. My main man, Don, holding it down. We got to make this video in response to Umar Johnson. I'll tell you about that. It's a whole nother element of this Frederick Douglass stuff that shouldn't exist, but it does in the bicentennial year. So we are here at the Frederick Douglass National Historic Site. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so since we have Don here, I will go into my thing. All right, so what we see, ladies and gentlemen, is the panorama of Washington City. Okay, you can see the Washington Navy Yard. Washington Navy Yard is actually older than DC. You can see the Washington Monument. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the Washington Monument, the capstone is put on there in 1885. Let me get my facts straight. I'm sounding like Umar. All right, let me get my facts straight. So Washington Monument, the capstone is put on in February 1885. Okay, what is, for all of you Pan-Africanists, what is the Washington Monument? It is an obelisk. What is the obelisks? Where do obelisks originate from? You already know, okay? Frederick Douglass took a grand tour, 1886 to 1887. He visited Egypt, all right? He visited Cairo. Went to Al-Azhar University in old Islamic Cairo. You think Umar's gonna know that? No, because he is no scholar. He is a nothing. He is a nobody. I don't even know if he can read. He could be illiterate, and that's disrespectful to folks who are illiterate. Because I know lots of people in adult literacy programs, adult basic education, GED, EDP, ESL. I mean, come on, man, this dude's a fraud. It's a straight fraud. So what we're getting at is that Frederick Douglass is America's pharaoh. America's pharaoh, Dr. Frederick Bailey Douglass, America's pharaoh. Okay, Umar, you are nothing, man. You are nothing. How dare you? And let me just say this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want this video to go on too long, but this is the bicentennial year. I'm going to acknowledge folks in Fells Point, Baltimore, Talbot County, whole Eastern Shore of Maryland, Rochester, New York. We're doing big up in Rochester, my hometown, Washington, D.C., Anacostia. Okay, we're working on getting some banners up in Anacostia. You got a lot of positive things happening with the bicentennial, okay? Trying to get books into the hands of young people, city schools, school districts throughout the country, okay? So we don't really have time for this Umar stuff, but we had to address it on the strength of the importance of Frederick Douglass and the respect, the reputation that Dr. Frederick Douglass has in this neighborhood, okay? In this city, in this country, in this world, okay? Frederick Douglass is respected internationally. And what this man, Jermaine Shoemaker, did is he claimed to have some connection to Frederick Douglass. He tried to come up on Frederick Douglass's respect. He tried to come up on Frederick Douglass's reputation. He tried to come up on fugitive slave scholar, Dr. Frederick Douglass, okay? Dr. Frederick Douglass. Get that right, real, authentic doctor. This Umar is just some janky Bama at the bus stop asking you for change and a cigarette. Okay, he's a nothing, he's a nobody. So we're saying that because there's no connection between Umar Johnson nor his father to Frederick Douglass. Okay, he is not a Bailey. Okay, he is a disgrace to everything. Okay, he is not a Douglassonian. He does not know about Douglassonianism. Okay, Umar is a fraud. Okay, and he's mentioned people's names in the family of Frederick Douglass. So we're gonna have to address that because that's why we're gathered here today. So once again, we're gathered here to address this issue. Frederick Douglass earned everything that he gained in life. Everything for his family, everything for his friends, his associates, okay, radical women journalists, radical abolitionists, radical educators. Okay, Frederick Douglass was a radical. Umar Johnson is a nobody. He's a nothing. He's a YouTube bust a caps lock in yourself, or whatever he is. I mean, the stuff that he said, this dude is just, I can't believe y'all listen to this man. Okay, this man is a disgrace. He's talking about Pan-Africanism. Obelisk, Washington, D.C., looks out over Washington. Okay, great ancient civilizations. Egypt brought it here to Washington to consecrate the city. Well, not brought it here, that's what Napoleon did, but you know what I'm trying to say. We built it and this and that. Long history of Washington Monument I won't get into. You scholars can Google that. And so the point about it is that Umar, you're a disgrace. You have no connection to Frederick Douglass, okay? You and your father, which I respect your father, I have no respect for you. Nobody respects you. You have come forth with no documentation. You claim to be a scholar. The way this works is you come with census records. marriage licenses, death certificates, birth certificates, yearbooks, family photos, family Bibles, nothing. You know what? I'm gonna have to break it down. What you found, what you and your thief family, or whoever you are, wherever you come from, man. Everyone's family is important, but man, you've disgraced not only everything, but you've disgraced your family. I mean, who does what you do, man? I mean, you're like a Medusa type dude or something. I don't know what's wrong with you. But what I'm saying, sir, how dare I call you sir, but I will call you sir, because Frederick Douglass gave respect to people in the streets, which that's basically what you are. But like you're some dude who needs like emergency electric assistance or something like that, staying at CCV shelter, but nobody wants in the shelter because you just make it hot. So anyway, Umar, you nothing, man. You're not related to Stephen Henry Bailey, not related to George Washington Bailey, not related to his daughter who married a Kaysen. Okay, you're not a Kaysen, you're not a Bailey, you're not a Douglas, you're a nobody. That's Trump. See, Trump, we're gonna holler at Trump, man. We're gonna get Trump on you, man. But seriously, man, you try to be big body. You try to big body youngins. You're nothing. Donald Trump, oh, we're gonna get Donald Trump on Umar. Oh, you best believe. You say, what is going on? You're gonna get Donald Trump coming down to 16th and W Street, give a press conference that, Frederick Douglass is respected and it's gonna be a federal offense for people, okay, just like stolen valor. See, you see, that's what it is, stolen valor. See, when you're messing with members of the Frederick Douglass family, the Bailey tribe, you're messing with veterans, people who have served this country, okay, they have sacrificed something that you know nothing about, okay. Stolen valor is when someone tries to say they were in the military and they were not. It's a federal offense. It's a crime. It was passed recently. We're about to, get on where we get on. Now, let me tell you what a cease and desist is, okay. So we already know about this DNA, so the DNA can be subpoenaed that there's no biological connection, none, with any Baileys. No Baileys, no Bailey for you, just like, Seinfeld episode, no Bailey for you, kid, okay? Kid, Umar, you're a disgrace. What would you call it? What would low down dirty flea? Okay, low down dirty flea, Umar, you no relation through biology or through research archival records to any Baileys. Any Baileys, and how dare you insinuate what you insinuate about the family of Frederick Douglass and the family of Stephen Henry Bailey and George Washington Bailey, okay, and Caroline Bailey and all their children, okay? What you found is a 1983 book that was published by a branch of the Bailey family, and then you perverted it, you stole it. That's what you wave in one of those videos with the little red thing, and I do what I do. I had to go over to Eastern Shore and find where that book was, and I found it. And that's what that's the genesis of everything, your claims. Your father told me that you made this stuff up, okay? You made all this stuff up about Baltimore being told this, anything. And look, you did not grow up in Anacostia, I'll tell you that. You did not grow up, you're not a W Street Douglasonian, you're not a Fells Point Boy Douglasonian, you're not from the Eastern Shore, you're not a Graham's Alley Douglasonian, you don't Highland Beach, okay? You did not grow up the street life experiences that Dr. Frederick Douglass had coming up in the streets, buying the Columbian Order. You did not have the experience of Frederick Douglass parlaying with Supreme Court justices, congressmen, senators, presidents, diplomats, ambassadors from Liberia. Because yeah, Frederick Douglass stepped over to Africa. See, that's why your stuff is so disgraceful, man. You're talking about America's Pharaoh, and I'm sitting here addressing the peasant of Pan-Africanism, not even the peasant, the pilfering peasant of Pan-Africanism. Just the joke, the fraud, the pauper. You're not even a pauper. You see, you're a disgrace to peasants and paupers. That's the problem with you, you flea bag. You complete low-down dirty flea. You low-down bum. You like drunk wino bum. I don't even know what you are, man. You try to holler at like women's little teenage girls through them. What sort of sick bastard are you, man? Dr. York, oh yeah, I knows about that. Dr. Malachi Z. York, another stupid fraud who claimed to study in, Khartoum and this and all this nonsense, speak, 17 languages and all these books. And, I know where he was set up in D.C. I come from that old school. I can make a call or talk to some folks and find out what's really funky. So, yeah, so Dr. York is in that ADX Supermax, Florence, Colorado. See, I know folks that were out there, Robert Hansen, the Unabomber, and Zacharias Moussaoui, whoever his name was, the September the 20 guy, the guy was supposed to do 9/11 but didn't. Some chicken, I forget, chicken was a chicken like you, I guess, but thank God he was a chicken, because we are about honoring our country. We are patriots. But we are we are warrior scholars and gentlemen. Warrior scholars and gentlemen, something that you don't even know if you know those words, because you're surely no scholar, buddy. So let me get back to what I'm trying to ramble about. You know, William Alstonell, God rest William, was a Garveyite. Remember the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's another thing. You talk about Garvey, Garveyism, and being a Garveyite. Who are you? Nobody. Nothing. I won't even address how much of a disgrace you are to Garveyism, because I'm not a Garveyite, but I know Garveyites who are about that. And Henrietta Vincent Davis, who Frederick Douglass introduced to the Washington theater scene, ran with Marcus Garvey. So come on. I mean, you're a scholar. You're nothing, man. Not even. I mean, it's like no language to address how absurd just your whole existence is. So there's no language, and like what I said with William Alston W Street Douglasonian, every corner man in Southeast Washington Douglasonian. Okay, you are disgraced when you drop the name Marcus Garvey, let alone Frederick Douglass. So let me go back to what I was trying to say. We're going to create with Trump. We're going to create with Trump or Congress, the Senate. We're going to do what we have to do. Create a law, okay, federal offense, that if you claim to be from the family Frederick Douglass, it's a federal offense. Okay, we're going to create the law just for you. We're going to get you out in the Supermax, the ADX, where you want to be with Dr. York, because you shouted him out. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dr. York is in the ADX Supermax, the most secure facility in the United States Bureau of Prisons, in the Department of Justice, because of what, 100-something counts of child molestation? So yeah, child molestation. Let me repeat that. Dr. Malachi York, who fake Dr. Umar has shouted out and acknowledged numerous times, and Umar's supposed to be a child, whatever he is acknowledged Dr. York, child molester, in the Supermax, ADX. Look that up for all you, wannabe YouTube subscriber, busted caps lock in yourself, whatever. Y'all want to try to be this, G code or whatever. I don't even know what it is y'all do, but just look it up. Y'all know nothing. Y'all just know nothing. That's the problem. We can't even address you because you guys know nothing. You're not even basic, not even below basic. I'm not even talking about with literacy. You just got to start all over again. And I understand, like I said, let me go back to William Alston. So, folks have a lost sense of identity, a lost sense of nationality. And then y'all let this serpent, this absolute low-down flea bag infested serpent, slide through and just straight hustle y'all for what, $700,000, whatever it is. And it's just like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. And then the stuff that Umar talks, come on now. Frederick Douglass, man, this is like your tongue should fall out your mouth. Your eyes should corrode. Like you're a disgrace. I mean, do you understand, Umar, man? I'm talking to you like man to man, even though you're not a man. Do you understand the disgrace that you have brought upon like just everything? I'm kind of losing focus now because I'm just irritated. It's hot as heck out here and I'm standing in the sun. But I want to address one more thing. TV, what's it called? News 1. Kathy Hughes, WOL, DC legend. Kathy Hughes started, big time industry. So News 1, yeah, News 1. You guys did a little blog post because I had to put out a video. I was a little frustrated, so I had, I said what I said, and this problems. Okay, I'm a journalist, radical community-based journalist, local historian, and you guys paraphrased what I said, which is potentially libel, slanderous, etc., whatever, and didn't directly quote what I said. So I had to take the video down because, certain, out the War Council. I respect the War Council, so I had to take it down. And so I need to follow up with you guys because as journalists, it was extremely irresponsible. You could have reached out to me. You could have reached out to me directly. My information is not hard to find, okay? Reach out to John Muller. That's the YouTube page this is coming from. Okay, reach out to me to get a quote. Say, man, Mr. Muller, why did you say this about Umar Johnson? Okay, then you could have reached out to Umar Johnson to get a quote. But you guys just, I don't know. I'm not really familiar with News 1, but we'll follow up with you. This is Sunday. I'll follow up with you guys. Hopefully you get the full story, the real story of this criminal fraud, this affinity fraud, identity fraud by Umar Johnson, claiming that he's related to Frederick Douglass. And in no way, no biology, no paper documentation to justify this. It's like just some random person, some random flea bag, Umar Johnson's saying this. We've got to do something to make this a federal crime, because that's what he wants. If you want to play,